In the headlines, Kano State Government clarifies circumstances surrounding explosion in Sabongari. President Buhari pledges commitment to sustainable civil aviation. AFDB President Akinwumi Adesina distances self from 2023 presidential race. And on the foreign scene, dozens injured as Israeli police target funeral procession. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I'm Darshan Hussaina Usman. And now the news in detail. Kano State Government has clarified that the early Tuesday morning explosion in the Sabongari area did not occur in a school. The State Commissioner for Information, Mohammed Garba, said the incident happened at an animal feed store opposite the school along Abar Road, Sabongari area of Fagge local government. He said while the cause of the explosion and the damage it had done is yet to be officially ascertained, investigation has since commenced to determine the cause, impact and measures to be taken. The commissioner assured that government would keep the public abreast on any development and warned people to desist from spreading unverified news. Similarly, Kano State Police Command has confirmed the death of 4 people and several others injured from the gas explosion that rocked Sabongari in Fagge local government area of the state. The Kano State Commissioner of Police, Samaila Dikko, said the explosion was caused by gas cylinder used for welding. He dismissed the earlier claim that the explosion was caused by a bomb blast. The Kano State Police Commissioner told journalists at the scene of the explosion that the investigation is ongoing as rescue team were already on ground to evacuate the injured. Authorities of the Nigerian Air Force have postponed the 2022 celebration billed to hold in Kano State. The event, initially scheduled for Thursday, has now been moved to Saturday. Although the spokesman of the Nigerian Air Force, Edward Gubquet, who announced this in a statement issued in Abuja, did not give reason for the postponement, a senior officer of the force cited the explosion in Kano. Daily Trust reports that at least 3 residents of Kano were killed, while many are currently trapped in the explosion, which rocked the area. On security, an unidentified gunman suspected to be a herdsman has hacked and killed one Biodun Fakoro in a farm at Egbe in Yagba West local government area of Kogi State. Daily Trust learned that the incident happened on a Monday afternoon at a farm in the suburb of the town. Locals reported that late Abiodun was declared missing earlier, but after a frantic search, his dead body was found by security operatives and village vigilante. According to the report, Biodun's lifeless body was seen with different cuts and tied to a tree along the road leading to his farm. It was gathered that the security operatives, including soldiers, were drafted to the area on Monday to restore law and order. The Kogi State Police Command confirmed the incident. President Muhammadu Buhari on Tuesday said more investments will be channeled to the provision of infrastructure and facilities for safe, secure, environmentally friendly and sustainable civil aviation. The president, who received the Secretary General of International Civil Aviation Organization, Juan Carlos Salazar, at the State House, said Nigeria will support the ideals and aspirations of ICAO and achievement of its strategic objectives in collaboration with the other member states of the organization. The president told the ICAO delegation that he was approved the establishment of Aerospace University in Abuja to cater for research and development and provide manpower to the industry.
In its bid to ensure continuous compliance with the International Civil Aviation Organization standards and meet the challenges of a rapidly growing air transport sector, has established independent agencies in order to enhance aviation safety and security, while ensuring effective and efficient provision and management of structure in all aspects of the industry for its sustainable development.
We maintain this record within the ICAO Council overseeing the world affairs And since you came and began to develop and implement a robust aviation roadmap, our profile has improved significantly within the international civil aviation system. And ICAO has recognized that. During your tenure, we host the world of aviation through 3 well-recognized conferences of ICAO.
That is a good starting point to express, Excellency, our recognition for the leadership role that Nigeria plays in civil aviation, not only in this region, in the region of the Banjul Accord, but also in the whole of Africa. Nigeria civil aviation development, as His Excellency the Minister has just mentioned, is one of the most impressive in the world. The number of passengers have been growing in spite of COVID-19. The number of airports have doubled, which represents a tremendous effort in improving the infrastructure for civil aviation.
President of the African Development Bank, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, has ruled himself out of the 2023 presidential race in Nigeria. Adesina made his position known in a statement on Tuesday after months of calls for him to join the race. It also came after a group had purchased the APC presidential nomination form for him. Adesina, who thanked those calling for him to join the presidential race, maintained he was presently occupied with championing development for the African continent. Ahead of the All Progressives Congress presidential primaries, the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo and the group mobilizing for the candidature of Bola Ahmed Tinubu have visited Kwara State to consult with party members and stakeholders. While the Kwara State Governor Abdurrahman Abdulrazak accompanied the Vice President to the palace of the Emir of Ilorin, the group for Tinubu also moved out of Ilorin to visit the Olofa of Offa. The report.
Around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the plane conveying the Vice President touched down at Ilorin International Airport and was received by the State Governor Abdurrahman Abdulrazak. The convoy headed for the palace of the Emir of Ilorin, where the governor addressed the monarch.
Today we received His Excellency in Kwara State, and he has a big message for us in Kwara, and we're all waiting for him to deliver it at the designated banquet hall. It's not his first time in Kwara. If His Excellency goes to Ipata Market today, he's going to be mobbed. Why? Because he championed the social investment program here in Kwara State. He came personally to launch it in 2019, and it was a big occasion then, and so many people have benefited from that program.
The Vice President, while informing the Emir of his intention to vie for the presidency, said he will hit the ground running to address Nigeria's numerous challenges if elected.
All of what God had given me, all of the experience and knowledge that God had given me within these past 7 years, within which I acted as president on occasion, I felt that it would be important for me to put myself forward to the service of this country, because everything that has been given to me by way of knowledge and experience has been given to me by the grace of God and by the benevolence of this same country.
The Emir of Ilorin said the track record of the Vice President qualifies him to succeed President Buhari as Nigeria's next leader.
You're coming to the record is something to be proud of. Your track record is enough to show that.
Meanwhile, the Southwest Agenda for Tinubu Presidency 2023 had earlier paid a similar visit to the Emir of Ilorin, who said the national leader has what it takes to lead the country. The group also visited Olofa of Offa, Oba Muftau Gbadamosi, where the leader of the group expressed the determination of Tinubu to change the fortunes of the country if elected.
We think he can replicate all this at the national level. If given the chance, he can perform this also at the national level. We don't want Nigerians to begin to lament if we don't give him the chance.
The monarch prayed for the success of Tinubu both at the primary and at the polls.
A federal high court sitting in Jalingo on Tuesday ordered the All Progressives Congress and the state chairman of the party, Ibrahim Tukur El Sudi, not to recognize any other person as chairman of the 5 local government in southern Taraba apart from those elected at the party's Congress. Delivering judgment in a suit filed by Barrister Pius Damba, counsel to Habu Abdurrahman and others, Justice Simon Amobeda of the Federal High Court Jalingo said it was improper for the state party chairman to rely on a letter purportedly conveyed to him by the National Organizing Secretary of the party to replace the duly elected party officials with some other people. The judge ordered the status quo to be maintained. The Taraba State APC chairman, Ibrahim Tukur El Sudi, had on Sunday sworn in and inaugurated 4 local government chairmen of Fortakum, Usa, Ibi, and Wukari local government areas of the state. El Sudi, who supervised the oath-taking and inauguration of the officials at the party secretariat in Jalingo, noted that he was following the directives given to him by the National Secretariat of the party. You're watching Trust News Update. Coming up after the break, a look at issues concerning family planning. This and more after the break. Do stay with us. Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Let's take a look at some of our major stories. We told you that Kano State government clarifies circumstances surrounding explosion in Sabongari. We also told you that President Buhari pledges commitment to sustainable civil aviation. Moving to more news, a leadership of the Christian Association of Nigeria in Nasarawa State has been urged not to join the planned nationwide peaceful protest over the murder of Deborah Emmanuel, a female student of the Shehu Shagari College of Education, Sokoto. Governor Abdullahi Saleh of the state made the appeal during a security meeting attended by different stakeholders in Lafia. The appeal, according to the governor, was due to the fragile nature of the state. Deborah, a Christian from Niger State, was killed on 12th May over allegation of blasphemy. Also, during the meeting, Governor Sule commended security agencies for the arrest of a notorious kidnapper, Meku'i, and his gang members who have been terrorizing some parts of the state.
Deborah Samuel, the second-level student of the Shehu Shagari College of Education in Sokoto, unfortunately, that was killed in a very, very unfortunate manner in Sokoto. As you all know, Mr. President has condemned it. The National Assembly has condemned the killing. Our Sultan has also condemned. Khan has condemned these killings. The northern governors have come together also collectively to condemn this killing. Unfortunately, some of the people who are responsible for this have been arrested, and we are going to follow to the conclusion of this. It's unfortunate, very, very unfortunate, the way and the manner that the promising girl was killed, even though there are ways to follow rules and regulations in the state, and there is law in this country on how to follow about issues of this nature. Unfortunately, the people who came in to do this are people who have very, very little knowledge of Islam, that they have done that. This is very, very unfortunate, but we as a state, we have to come in and not only condemn it, but to take steps that will ensure that we protect our people and ensure such things do not happen in this state, and there will not be any backlash on that. So one of the reasons actually for calling for the meeting is to sympathize with the families of Deborah Samuel, as well as all the Christian community and humanity as a whole, because what has happened to her is not only against the Christian community is actually against humanity.
Moving to health, family planning is a decision by couples to space or limit childbearing to ensure population control, healthy reproductive process, and proper care for children. Despite being a decision for both individuals and partners, male participation has over time been low due to some certain biases. Trust TV's Aisha Salihu takes a look at men's perception about family planning methods developed for the male gender.
Increased access to family planning services is one of the commitments of the Federal Ministry of Health and the World Health Organization to ensure safer families. With Nigeria's growing population, unsafe traditional contraception practices, stakeholders say childbearing should be by choice rather than by chance. Modern methods have now been deployed to ensure men who intend to limit childbearing take charge of the family planning process.
So there's a method for men and there are methods for women. And apart from some experimental methods that are being looked at now at commercial purposes for men, like what we call the Vasogel. The Vasogel is an experimental method that is still not very widely used, but the concept is to under vision, maybe an ultrasound, inject a gel into the male vas deferens. That's the tube that transports sperm, from the testis. It's called the vas deferens. So they inject the gel, and once the gel is injected, it hardens. They're also looking at a reversible type of Vasogel, but for the meantime, Vasogel is non-reversible. Then there are other ones. There's a tablet called Gossipol that is still being experimented for men, but the normal, well-known male method is a permanent method, one of the permanent methods, or the non-reversible methods known as vasectomy.
However, biases such as possible irreversibility of some modern contraceptive methods for men and the age-long vasectomy have continued to dissuade men from participation.
For me, personally, I don't think that one is advisable because we have a regulation that is going on already for the women, and there are several methods of doing that family planning from the women.
Men and women, I think the best bet should be self-discipline. Self-discipline, because nobody is pushing you.
Experts say contraceptive methods like vasectomy are safe as opposed to popular opinions.
When you are considering family planning, you are looking at two options. Are you spacing or are you limiting? Now, if you are spacing, it means that you want to have children, still want to have children, but you want to have them at particular intervals or time difference. Then you are spacing. But if you are limiting, it means that you've had the number of children you want to have and you don't want to go ahead to have any other child. Then you can consider permanent methods. The one for the male is vasectomy.
Nigeria looks forward to achieving access to sexual and reproductive health, including family planning, information and education, and the integration of reproductive health into national strategies and programs by the year 2030.
Nigerian Medical Association has tasked politicians aspiring to occupy various positions in the country to define what they have to offer the health sector, or its members will mobilize and vote against them. The national president of NMA, Innocent Uja, stated this during a press briefing at the Union Secretariat in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, to kick off its 62nd Annual General Conference. The report.
President of the Nigerian Medical Association, Innocent Uja, said politicians must show verifiable evidence of what they have to offer electorates, particularly in the healthcare delivery sector. Uja described the various challenges facing the health sector in the country as ticking time bombs that will soon explode if not addressed. He said the COVID-19 pandemic dealt a huge blow on the country's already fragile healthcare delivery system, which has been aggravated by a brain drain that the sector is battling with. The NMA president expressed displeasure at the level of medical personnel leaving the country for greener pastures.
The political climate is very hot now, and we are saying that all the politicians that are coming, The presidential aspirants who become, those who become candidates, senatorial, gubernatorial, must put health in it, define clearly what the roles they will give to health. Otherwise, we may be forced to mobilize our patients and their spouses to vote against anybody who doesn't take health serious. We are tired of, will come and provide health for all. How do you do it? Give us how you, step by step, how it is done.
Speaking on the theme of the conference, current emergencies in building a resilient health system for Nigeria, situation analysis and solutions, the NMA president noted that primary healthcare sector in the country needs urgent attention.
Primary healthcare system is dead. If you go to many primary healthcare facilities, what do you see? Grains of harvested farm produce. And the officers come at the last day of the month to receive their salary. I don't know what happens in Port Harcourt. Every primary healthcare facility should have a medical officer of health. But we have that. The local government chairman will tell you that the cost of employing a doctor is very high.
The NMA president called on government at all levels to implement policies that will ensure a robust welfare benefits for medical personnel in the country.
Men of the Nigerian Army on Tuesday in Akure, Ondo State dispersed students who are protesting on a second day against the ongoing ASUU strike. Videos had surfaced online showing soldiers marching in their numbers with guns alongside a van being driven after them. Sporadic gunshots were heard as they moved while some of the students camped for safety. The students of Adekunle Ajasin University, Akungba, in Akure had, alongside counterparts from neighboring states, barricaded major highways, including the Benin-Ore Expressway, while they protested. As part of efforts to addressing the out-of-school menace among children, volunteers are mobilizing kids to return to schools in Kano schools. The head teacher of Jin Special Primary School, Binta Aliyu, expressed gratitude to United Nations Children's Fund for providing learning materials for the children. Binta Aliyu told Trust TV that Mothers Association and community leaders under the Ages of School-Based Management Committee are mobilizing children and monitoring them to ensure that they attend school regularly. One of the SBMC officials, Usman Ali, who said the number of girls in the school is low compared to boys, urged all stakeholders to do more in motivating girls to attend schools.
Have done well. They have done a lot to improve the learning of our children. They held a house-to-house mobilization to sensitize parents to bring their children to school. They provided us with teaching materials and gave the students learning materials.
My position is ESCO official. We work together with 3 heads, SBMC, PTA, and Mothers Association. We do help the schools with all their problems, forwarding to the concerned officers ahead, e.g. Ministry of Education, Primary Board, and LEA. That is Local Education Authority of the school problem.
On the foreign scene, more than 70 Palestinians were injured after Israeli police shot tear gas canisters and rubber-coated bullets at a funeral procession for a young Palestinian man who had succumbed to injuries sustained at Al-Aqsa Mosque compound last month. Hundreds of mourners joined the funeral procession on Monday for Walid Al-Sharif, who was pronounced dead on Saturday. Al-Sharif suffered a serious head injury on April 22nd after Israeli police fired rubber-coated bullets at Palestinians at Jerusalem's most sensitive holy site. Reports say Al-Sharif was shot in the head with a rubber-coated bullet, while Israeli authorities have suggested he died from injuries sustained when he fell on the ground. Israeli hospital officials declined to give a precise cause of death. And finally, in sports, World Football Governing Body FIFA has celebrated Azizat Oshoala for finishing as top scorer in the Primera Iberdrola, that's the Spanish women's first division. Oshoala concluded the season with 20 goals and 3 assists in 19 games, despite a 3-month injury-induced layoff. Jaysa Ferreira of Real Madrid also scored 20 goals, but did it in 27 appearances and recorded 1 assist. Reacting to Oshoala's Top Scorers Award, FIFA described her performance for Barcelona this term as perfect. Oshoala is among 32 players invited by Super Falcons coach Randy Waldrum for a 2-week camp in Morocco ahead of this year's CAF Women's Cup of Nations. And with that, we've come to the end of Trust News Update. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Dashan Husseina Usman. Thanks for watching.